Hi, I'm CJ Miller on the road in downtown Indianapolis with Indiana State Senator Jean Leising, who also serves as chair of the Senate Ag Committee for the state of Indiana. And first of all, Jean, I know that you have authored and introduced many different bills that touch upon the ag industry. First of all, I want to knock this out and get this out of the way. Let's talk about Senate Bill, if I'm not mistaken, is it 230 that you've authored?
Right. Senate Bill 230 was a Department of Ag bill that included some reporting requirements for soil conservation districts, but probably the most exciting part of the bill was language that would put the FFA program in Indiana in code, in the statute, under the Department of Ag. And it sailed out of the Ag Committee, but had to be recommitted to appropriations. Now, appropriations is the money committee, right? And things slow down when they get there. And in this case, the bill is going to get a hearing on Thursday in appropriations, but I've been told it might get an amendment, and that the amendment might remove the FFA portion, which makes me very sad because they have a fear of a potential future fiscal impact. And I think that's a stretch, but that's my view. So I'm going to try to do what I can to keep that in the bill, but I don't know right now.
Well, and Jean, I find it fascinating that there's nothing in state statute that says that Indiana FFA is directly under the purview of the Indiana State Department of Agriculture.
Right. I think right now FFA is just floating out there. It's not under any department, which is concerning because in the future, you could have somebody that maybe wasn't keen on FFA. So this was a move to make it officially under the Department of Ag, and I felt like that was a good thing, you know.
And certainly if we have folks who are watching this here on Hoosier Ag Today's YouTube channel, Hoosier Ag Today's Facebook channel, they're involved with Indiana FFA, and they want to see this bill of yours cross the finish line. How's the best way to help in that regard?
Well, I would say that they should probably maybe try to get a message in to Senator Mishler, the Appropriations Chairman. And the best way to do that right now, with as fast as things are moving, would be to call the 800 number, which is 1-800-382-9467, 1-800-382-9467, and leave a message for him about the significance of FFA.
Chatting with State Senator Jean Leising, chair of the Senate Ag Committee here on Hoosier Ag Today. Let's talk about some other bills that you've introduced that impact agriculture. Senate bills, let's start with Senate Bill 56.
Right, a good bill that passed about a week ago out of the Senate and is now headed over to the House for action. And what this is it really is what I would call a reciprocity agreement for out-of-state veterinarians, so that if you have an out-of-state veterinarian that has a proper license and is good standing, they can apply for license in Indiana without taking a state board and all that again. And so I think that this will help eliminate part of the shortage of especially large animal veterinarians. We know that we have a shortage of those, and so I think that, you know, this is going to be a good bill, and it is over in the House, so we'll be anxiously awaiting for a hearing over there.
Also, Senate Bill 55 you've introduced as well.
Senate Bill 55 is an interesting bill, and I did so at the request of the Soybean Association and the pork producers, because right now the two checkoffs for those two commodities are under the federal government. And because of all the changes going on at the federal level, they decided it would be good to have a fallback provision in Indiana code, so that if for some reason the market development part for soybeans and for pork would go away at the federal level, that this bill would make it seamless and would immediately be in place in Indiana, and then the impact on the farmer would be nothing. I mean, the assessments would be the same, But the reality is we don't want to lose any future market development. I mean, everybody knows that there's been a shortage of soybean exports, and that's been a huge concern for people. So I think this is an important bill as well.
Once again, State Senator Jean Leising, chair of the Senate Ag Committee here in Indiana.
Right.
Jean, thank you so much for joining us on Hoosier Ag Today.
Thank you very much for having me.